Hey mama, welcome to Naturally Empowered Living, your safe space to guiding you on your unapologetic self-awakening journey to learning your energy of alignment and feeling good again. This is your weekly sanctuary to wake up from autopilot and transform the way you approach motherhood and life through the power of meditation, energetics, and root cause therapy. It's my mission to help you embody the foundations of self-love, trust, and interconnection to be unapologetic in the evolution of who you are. Here, we honor all parts of ourselves, the messy and the magic, the shadows and the light. If you are ready to get to the roots of cultivating real change, warm up that cold coffee, pop in your earbuds, and tighten that top knot, mama. Let's discover our power within together. The last episode of 2024. Hi. Hi and welcome. Let's do this. I do not care how cliche it is. I love any moments that drive reflection and intention. And that is what we're bringing in today's episode. Just bringing our inner world a little more into our outer worlds. I love it. Just diving in. So I don't know if you have any practices that you do at the year end or year beginning, but that is what we're going to be diving into today. Just some intentional time to pause, to reflect and prepare for what's to come in 2025. Two simple, yet potentially, if you accept it to be, life-changing, if you allow them to be. These practices can bring clarity and gratitude and intention and awareness and just building or paving that path for your life as we transition into the new year. So practice number one, we're going right in. Practice number one is celebrate your year. Celebrate your wins. Okay, this could have been a shitty ass year for you, but there are still high highs. There are still things that you can celebrate. There are still maybe moments or experiences or things that you've overcome. Like if you were in the lowest of the lowest depths, there are still wins that you can come out and say, like, I did that. Okay, so what are you most proud of from 2024? Or maybe it could have been the best year ever, right? So what are you most proud of from 2024? Before we rush into the next chapter, all these things, I'm going to make different or do better or make happen in the next year, let's take a moment to honor where we are in this moment, to honor the journey that you have been on. I encourage you to reflect, to make note, to let come to you, to, have it come to you through prayer or meditation, or just sit and make some journal time. What are 3 things that you are most proud of from 2024? This can help acknowledge your growth, your resilience, your abundance, your gratitude. It could help leaning, on that gratitude for your accomplishments, no matter how big or small. And it could help gain a deeper sense of your self-awareness, your confidence, your clarity and intention as you move forward. What's that cliche, what's that quote? When you look how far you've come, because you never, it's so hard for us to be proud of and look at how far we've come because we're never, quote unquote, where we want to be, right? We're always striving for that next thing. But look back on all that you've done, all that you do. What are you most proud of? You can pause with me, right now. You could pause this episode right here and right now if you're in the zone and you want to do this as we're going. Pause me and then just come back when you're able after you write these 3 things that you're most proud of. And I want to encourage you to trust yourself to actually do this. If you don't pause me right now, trust yourself, hold yourself accountable to actually do this after you listen to the rest of the episode. Whatever works best or feels best for you. And however you want to do these 2 practices, right? But that was the first practice. And the next practice, this is one of my absolute favorites, is to choose your word for 2025. This is again, if you allow it to be, if you are accepting of this, it could be a guiding light for your year ahead. And don't even put that much pressure on it. And, just pick your word and just see the magic that unfolds throughout the year. This I do encourage you to do as soon as possible, because if a word has already come to you, as I'm talking right now, that's it. Like there's no second guessing. The first thing that comes to you, please trust it because it came into your mind for a purpose, and that is your intuition speaking. So what if one word could shape your focus, direct your energy and really just your intentions for the year? And again, you don't have to put that much pressure on it. If this is something that you haven't done in the past, it's just so fun, just don't even give it that much, pressure into like, oh, this is gonna, I have to focus on this word throughout the whole entire year. Pick it and then forget about it. And then, come back to it, in a few months, every quarter, or even at the end of the year, and just see like, oh my gosh, like how in tune and true that word was for your year. Because I've been doing this for like, since 2020. So this will be the 6th year. It holds so much amazingness for so many reasons. Like you can watch your year unfold and how it connects to that word. Like what I was just saying is so magical. But if it is something that you want to like keep close to you, it could be an anchor in challenging times. In times where you can find a silver lining and pull that synchronicity. It holds freaking power because you are powerful if you allow that connection. If you allow, that connection with your intuition to speak, if you believe in your energy and intuition guiding you. So when this word comes to you, when you choose that word for 2025, trust the first word that comes to you. And how does it feel? How does it feel in your body? What does it mean for you? You can journal this, if you want to, but you don't have to have the answers right now either. This is just something, to really lean on throughout the entire year. Like a lot of times for me, it comes to me throughout the year or even years, after the year is over, like it'll come to me and then I like look back when I'm like doing that reflection, right? And it's like, oh, no way. Like all the revelations, oh, it's so cool. So for example, when I chose my word for 2025, I didn't even sit down and like, okay, I'm going to meditate and, pray on this and let that first word come to me. It just came in like loud and clear. And it was the first year in all of my years of doing this that it hasn't been directed towards like a spiritual awakening-y type word or like growth, right? Like growth isn't the right word because we're always growing. We're always evolving. So, okay, I want to share my words with you. And then maybe like you'll understand what I'm saying. So I don't want to influence your decision though. I want to share my words, but I don't want to influence your decision. So if you already have had a word come to you, that's it. Don't second guess it. Write it down if you need to remember. And if you haven't chose your word, pause me right now. Take a moment. Connect with yourself. You could say a short prayer. Put your hands on your heart. Take a couple deep breaths, just kind of get in connection with yourself and allow your one word for 2025 to come to you. There's no forcing it. You don't have to be in the perfect setting. I think I was doing chores or something when I was, when mine came to me. This is simply allowing your intuition to speak in any area of any day in any environment that you are in. And that also helps, like it's a practice in itself. Like, oh, that's my intuition talking because, you could be doing anything, being in any setting. It's not necessarily always have to be when you're praying or meditating. Once you kind of find that discernment, that's a very good practice to be able to hear your intuition in any area, in any environment of your life. So pause, connect, allow your word for your year of 2025 to come to you now. Pause me if you need a minute. Just write down your word. And a cool thing that I do is I write it down in my digital, like in my phone calendar that syncs, with my computer calendar, my digital calendar. And I repeat it on the 1st of every year. So I have this ongoing list of all my words throughout the year. And it's so cool. I love seeing it every year and reminiscing on years past. And it's just, I don't know. But I love the reflection. I love finding the synchronicities and the signs. So, okay, back to my story here. I started doing this in 2020. And I think it was because that's when I was deep in my spiritual awakening. I became a mom in 2019 and that was a really Like everything changed. Like, of course, when you become a mom, like everything changes. But everything in my life, like my mindset, my perspectives, my perceptions, like everything about who I was, what life was, like, and it just changed. And the more that I remember sitting down and Googling, like, what is a spiritual awakening? I'd never heard of that. Okay. So everything, like the high highs, the low lows, and it's all been in the best way possible because I know like this is the path that I'm supposed to be on. And I was supposed to have these hardships for certain reasons and these lessons. And it's been so amazing in the best way possible. Like I have come home to my soul and aligning, with who I truly am. So in 2020, my word was let go. I had a lot of struggle with, I grew up in a certain religion and I was having all these like aha moments and like spiritual awakening. What is this? So it was like let go because there was so much guilt and so much expectations that I was holding on to, external expectations that I was holding on to, and I was having a very hard time letting go and letting be. Like what's the saying? There's like a saying that says, let go, let God, let go, let be. Like just letting go to what is meant to be will be, right? So that was my word in 2020. I was going through a lot, and like postpartum, like the depression and just new motherhood on top of it. I know there was a lot of hormonal changes and things too, but 2020, my word was let go. 2021 was alignment. Okay, am I trying to figure out who I am? I'm kind of stepping back into, okay, I think I know, I'm finding myself again, like that alignment piece. I was changing a career at the time. Like there was just a lot of changes and I was stepping into who I was truly meant to be, stepping in, coming back home to my soul. 2022, breakthrough. I was like, here we are, like I'm in it, like breakthrough, that spiritual awakening. Like I was having all these like aha moments, dark night of the soul, like all these highs and lows, and like breakthrough was it. And then like I hit a rock bottom. I hit another rock bottom. I had my second child too, again. So that was, hormonal too. The hormonal ups and downs and things like that. But there were big revelations. And if you have gone through a spiritual awakening, that dark night of the soul, it was like I was in the thick of it in 2022. So like I was ready. I was clawing my way out in 2022. Breakthrough. We're here for it. 2023, belief. Because I was like, is all this shit like, then I'm like big in signs and angel numbers and synchronicities. I was like, oh my gosh, like, is this? I have to believe. I was, not to bring up religion, but there was the dogmatic, I guess, views of things, and I was seeing things in a different light, and like there was a lot of what I wanted to believe, and I had to have belief in what I knew. I knew things, and I had to believe it. So belief was my 2023 word. And this past year, 2024, was trust. So much. I could go on and on, like, and all of like, as I'm talking these words out, all of these aha moments and like the storyline that I just gave you, it did not come to me until like at year's end. And I was like, oh my gosh, like all this happened. And this was my word. Like it was so aligned. It was so in sync. It was so like, wow. So I love choosing a word because it's like, holy bananas, like it's so cool to see that storyline. And you could see also, this is kind of going back to why I, started sharing my words with you, was you could see how all of these are kind of surrounding like surrendering and aligning, like, really like stepping into that soul alignment, like letting go and surrender and all the, like, of course we all create our own stories and perspectives. So this is of course how I see it within my journey in my life. So my word for 2025 came to me randomly a few weeks ago, and it felt so cliche. Like there's so many words. Why would it be this one for this year? But it was so loud and clear. And like I said, I was doing something not even relevant to like meditation, prayer, like, getting in the zone and oneness or anything like that. I think I was doing chores or something. But it was just so perfect for me with my pattern in the past having to do with the surrender piece and trusting in that like growth phase. And this, I'm like, gosh darn it, like I'm here, I'm ready. This is a new evolution, a new growth phase. my word for 2025 is abundance. So by saving my words all those years, I see a pattern, and it's incredible. I love it. I love choosing words, again, to find the synchronicities, the signs. And I have to share another example too of like when I chose my word in 2024. This is what I mean by like the synchronicities and the signs of like, oh my gosh, like that we are always being guided. So when I chose my 2024 word, like you can't make this shit up. So I chose my word and I was between two words. Trust, hope. Which one? Like what is my word? Like trust and hope. And I chose trust. I just felt called to trust. And something else that I do every year is I pull like an oracle card. I have my son pulls one, but I pull one for myself too. It's just, and then I use it for my bookmark throughout the whole year. It's just something fun that I like to do. I kid you not. I mean, this is a whole deck, a whole oracle deck. That card was Archangel Hope. And I was like, oh my gosh, like what are the effing odds? So I got, both of those words, trust and hope. And then I like write on the back of the oracle card, like what year, I pulled this card. So I wrote that little story on the back of the card if I ever, go back and read it again. But it's just so divine. And that's just like having those little storylines, like your angel stories, I call them. It's just, it's so divine. And we are always being led. We are always being guided if we are open to paying attention. Like if we're paying attention, right? So I digress there. But these two practices, they are so monumentally transforming. And it helps you in connecting and strengthening the relationship that you have with yourself. So in my opinion, of course, and this is why I made the podcast, right? This is a tradition worth keeping. You could put it, in an event in your calendar that repeats every year, January 1st. And then you could, like I shared with you, you could revisit your past words and reminisce about the stories and the growth and the meaning behind them. Like to me, it's so much more than just a tradition. It's a way to connect with your inner self, to hear, your intuition, to connect with a higher power if that's what you believe in, to align with your purpose year after year and step into your energy of alignment. Like self-reflection, intention setting, they are so powerful for your growth and for your evolution of who you are, of stepping into who you are. In these practices also, it helps remind us to honor our journeys, right? To trust ourselves, to take purposeful steps toward creating the life that we truly, one, desire, but two, are meant to be living. Like stepping into your energy of alignment. So let's step into 2025 together. I am so thankful for the opportunity to share this journey with you, to have this podcast with you. And as we deepen our connection in the coming year, I hope that this episode inspires you to embrace your reflections, to embrace your journey, to trust your instincts, to set a foundation for a soul-aligned 2025. I am so excited and thankful and blessed to deepen my connection with y'all in 2025. Let's co-create a meaningful, magical new year together. Cheers to you. Until next week, as always, simply be you. You have everything inside of you to learn your energy of alignment and be unapologetic in who you are. I'm sending my love and so much light.
Did you find this episode relatable or empowering? Peace with my love of you. Yeah.
Thank you for spending this sacred time with me on Naturally Empowered Living. I pray this episode has brought you a step closer to tuning into your energy of alignment. And if it has, please consider leaving a written review sharing how this show has impacted you. Your feedback truly lights me up and helps other moms find their way to this community. And if it feels right, please share this episode with another mom who might be struggling to remind her that she's never alone. Be sure to check the show notes for more ways to connect and explore how we could work together to reclaim your power and deepen your relationship within. Thank you. I appreciate all you are and all you do.